Meteorologist Alyssa Pedgick.
So how's the day today?
It's been good. It's been very humid. Most of you guys probably felt that going out the day.
Yeah, we had some overcast clouds this morning and going in throughout the rest of most of the day, but what you really felt was the humidity outside. Humidity right now is around 90% heading into the afternoon and evening hours.
So ladies, if you have plans tonight, definitely an updo kind of night.
Yeah, and earlier today, Sydney actually gave us a live look at what around the integration statue, so you get to look at that later on in the show, as well as Michael will also give us a sports desk and events desk as well, so we'll get to see that throughout the show as well.
Right, and a few other things to look for. We're going to talk about some systems going on right now across the United States, the North Florida wedge we will talk about, as well as a look back in the past towards the Great Blizzard of 1899. So just a little bit of a fun fact from around this time of year a long time ago.
That was actually a Valentine's Day
Yes,
event,
it was. It really was.
And that's a look right outside the Love Building, taking a look outside Florida State University campus here in Tallahassee, Florida. Taking a look at those clouds because of those high humidity and dew points.
Right. You can definitely see how overcast it is, but luckily going through the next few days, you won't be seeing that as much. It will break apart and you'll actually be able to see the sun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually being able to go outside and enjoy the sunshine every now and then is pretty nice.
Right, and honestly, probably going to reach high temperatures towards the end of the week, possibly even 80 degrees.
As Ariana gives us a look at her overview for most of the show, I'll send it out to the wall with her.
Thank you so much, Alyssa and Jennifer. Man, I'm looking forward to those 80 degrees later this week. But for right now in Tallahassee, what you can expect right now is 66 degrees, and it is overcast, like Jennifer and Alyssa were saying, and you will feel that humidity 90% right now. If you walk outside, you're going to be walking into a swimming pool, basically. It's because that dew point is at 63 and the temperature is at 66, so making the moisture in the air, because those temperatures are so close to each other. But you can see these clouds, they are moving away from Tallahassee, but earlier today, they've been here all day. It's been overcast all day. And you can also see that there's some rain over here, and you'll be able to see in the show later that that's going to be causing those cooler temperatures over there. But for tonight's forecast, what you can expect is 58. There's still going to be thick cloud cover, not much wind, but it's going to be not that cold. So if you like those nightly strolls, I would recommend going, but make sure you take a buddy. Don't go by yourself. But for the 3-day forecast ahead, what you can expect for tomorrow, 75, Thursday, 79, and Friday, 79. There's those 80-degree temperatures coming in. I'm super excited that Florida weather is coming back, and it's almost springtime. So look forward to that. And what you could expect for your President's Day weekend, a cloudy and warm week ahead, possible drizzles this weekend, but it's going to be beautiful for President's Day on Monday. And right now, we are going to take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Ariana. So if you saw the show yesterday, you probably saw me talking about the wedge up in North Georgia, which is actually happening right now. So Alyssa and I are going to talk about what the wedge actually is.
So the wedge is kind of a formation where the high pressure is in the northeast and the low pressure is kind of around the Carolinas. And you know a lot about it. You're from around there.
Yeah, I'm from Atlanta. So as you can see, basically you have that high pressure and that clockwise flow. Along with the Appalachian Mountains, the mountains act as a dam for this cold air. And so that cold air gets stuck along North Carolina, South Carolina, and all the way down to Atlanta. And so it's a very shallow layer of cold air. And usually days where the wedge sets up, it's a cloudy, in my terms, I call it a raw kind of day. So, and the wedge is actually important. You can see again with those mountains, it blocks the air from, blocks the air, and so it's a shallow layer of cold air. And credit to Daniel Hoffman from Southeast Weather Alerts and Athens, Georgia Weather, Chris Davis, who created these graphics, and thanks for letting us use these. But again, it becomes really important during the winter time, especially when we get these winter weather events. The wedge can actually play a role in these freezing rain, sleet kind of events, because it's a shallow layer of cold air. So it's warmer above as you go above the atmosphere, but at the layers can be colder than 32 degrees, and so that's when you get those freezing rain events sometimes in the Atlanta area, and it can cause some chaos in terms of travel.
Right, and with that high pressure, since it's clockwise, it's going to bring in some of the warm, moist air from the Atlantic, which is why there's a lot more potential going towards the north of Georgia, bringing in some snow potential.
Yeah, there's another look at the setup where you have those mountains acting as a dam, as we've been saying, and also you have the moisture from the Atlantic. That's the reason we have those cloud covers, and it's a cool setup. It's a very stable setup. So those days, it's one of those days where you want to stay indoors, read a book, and that's how it's been up in Atlanta for the entire day. And the temperatures don't change that much. In the morning, it was only 50 degrees, and it's still 50 degrees there right now. But let's send. You're actually gonna take it. Actually, let's send it off to Sydney with a look at our first local forecast.
Thanks, Michael and Alyssa. And it has been conditions around here that you've been wanting to stay in and read a book as well, because those clouds and that rain, there have been chances of rain basically sticking around for our entire region for the past few days. As for right now, those clouds are staying steady with those overcast skies and 66-degree temperatures, with that dew point not much lower than 66, sitting there at 63 degrees, causing our humidity up there in 90%. So if you are going outside, just know that it's going to be like a wall out there. That humidity really is icky, sticky, and it's going to be sticking around a little bit. But as we go into our temperatures for the past 20 hours, take a look. 5 a.m. we were seeing 61 degrees, and then we reached our high temperature around 11 a.m. And with that high temperature, we only saw 71, and that was due to those overcast skies keeping the radiation in. And overnight, we didn't really let any of that go, and only caused a little bit of a range in our temperatures. As for our current temperatures around the region, the entire region in the 60s, Monticello seeing 63, Tallahassee seeing 66, and then look at this portion, Wilma, Carabel, and Apalachicola breaking into the 70s, so it is feeling nice over on the coast. And with our winds, we will notice that they are starting to form a clockwise motion, bringing in this high pressure, and with that, we'll clear out our skies, and we won't see much more of that cloud cover and that rain that has been coming in our area with a front that we saw just yesterday. Now, we do see the remnants of this front making their way out of this satellite picture, making way for this beautiful dry skies that we are going to be seeing and are going to be continuing on. So the clouds will subside as we go into our night, but an isolated shower or two is not ruled out of our picture. And due to all that rainfall that we've been seeing, we've noticed that there are going to be flood watches in places like Panama City and east of Pensacola. So those green lines are the flood watches in those areas. As for tonight's forecast, 58 degrees, and into tomorrow we will be bringing in those high 70s for our temperatures. Bringing in our 7-day, notice that those high temperatures breaking into the 80s next Tuesday, but in between we will be seeing beautiful conditions and high 70s for the entire region. But with that, I'm going to be taking it over with Jennifer. What's going on in Florida, Jennifer?
Yeah, so take a bigger picture of what's going on around the state. We're looking at temperatures ranging from the 80s even to 55 degrees for Jacksonville, but we're mainly sticking with the mostly cloudy skies. Fort Myers, the one area that's seeing a little bit of sunshine here in the Sunshine State. 77 degrees for Orlando, 66 degrees in Tallahassee, so it's a bit cooler as we get a little bit more north. Sideline radar showing exactly what's going on outside. We're seeing some rain for areas like Jacksonville as well as going into Gainesville, but Tallahassee is going to see the higher elevation clouds, but we'll still have the overcast clouds going into tomorrow, but it will start to diminish as we go on throughout the afternoon hours for tomorrow. But the South Florida is seeing the overcast skies starting to build in going throughout this afternoon and into tonight. But the water vapor is showing us just a surge in moisture for most areas of Central Florida, places like Orlando and Tampa, as well as Jacksonville. That's where the rain is. So we're going to see with this surge of moisture, with the clouds starting to develop as well. But behind this moisture, some drier skies behind it. Pensacola is seeing the effects of that high pressure system behind the cold front. That will give us some clear skies heading into throughout tomorrow, but with that surge in moisture, we're seeing the dew points very, very high across the entire state. 70 degrees for Orlando, so in many of these areas, it's feeling quite miserable when you walk outside. My hair is starting to frizz up. I know when I was walking here to campus, it wasn't very nice. But the winds are mainly coming out of the east for most areas of the state. About 10 miles per hour out of Orlando, we're seeing a bit gustier conditions, as well as 50 miles per hour in Miami. Tallahassee, though, 9 miles per hour mainly out of the northeast, as well as 3 miles per hour out of Pensacola. So the winds are variable across the state, but watches and warnings. With the rain that we saw this weekend, like Sydney was saying, we see some river flood warnings in most areas of the western panhandle, as well as some areas in the southeast as well. Some small craft advisories for our coastal areas, places like around Jacksonville, as well as some areas around Key West too. Tonight's forecast, expect temperatures to be fairly decent, about 53 degrees for Jacksonville, 67 degrees for Tampa. And for tomorrow, we'll see the partly cloudy skies for most of the state, about 70 degrees with overcast skies for Jacksonville, 78 degrees here in Tallahassee as well, as I send things back over to the desk with Alyssa and Ariana.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Speaking of moisture in the atmosphere, did you know that today in 1899 there was a blizzard in Tallahassee?
I know, right? It's completely crazy to think because right now we're seeing temperatures already in the 70s, but actually in Tallahassee, the record for this day back in 1899 was -2 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh my gosh, that is not a Florida weather I want to be feeling while I'm down here. No way, Jose.
This is actually a picture of the snowball fight on the steps of the Florida State Capitol in 1899.
Yeah.
Looks like they're having fun. Honestly, probably would do the same thing.
Looks like they had a snow day at work that day.
Probably wouldn't stay out there that long because -2 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it.
No, I could not. Probably their first ever snow day and only snow day, honestly. Because it did snow in Tallahassee earlier this year, but it was gone really quick. It looks like they were having fun in the snow.
Yeah, the snow, it happened overnight, and then as the sun came up, it melted pretty quickly.
Yeah, and how that happened was a surge of cold air, I'm pretty sure you said, like came from Canada. So it wasn't just Tallahassee that was really cold too. I think Los Angeles got down to 33 that day and Portland 9 degrees. So the whole United States was feeling this cold, but Tallahassee just got their snow.
Right. And honestly,
rare.
it was very, very dangerous because a lot of crops were destroyed, and so it really hurt farmers. So thank goodness this is not happening right now. Nothing to worry about on your Valentine's Day. Do you have any plans for Valentine's Day?
I have a hot date with my ODE book. What about you?
I'm going to the movies. I'm having a Galentine's Day. I feel like girls need to stick together, you know what I mean?
Girls run the world. Stick together.
Right,
That sounds super fun.
But we're actually going to send it out to the wall right now.
Thanks, ladies. And so you can see our roof cam there again. Notice the clouds lingering around. They've been lingering around for the last few days. And it's actually going to change as we go into Wednesday into Thursday. But currently in Tallahassee, it's 66 degrees as you saw those overcast skies. The dew point is right next to the temperature at 63. And the reason why we still have this moisture in the air is that east-northeast wind. This is the wind mainly across the southeast, and that's what's causing the wedge up in North Georgia, that east-northeast wind. Now, the current temperatures across the Big Bend, you can see 70s. Across the Panhandle, they've been getting more sunshine today, so they've been able to warm up more. But out towards Valdosta, you can see it's only 59 degrees. They have more cloud cover, and they're influenced by that wedge a little bit up in North Georgia. Now, the current winds, again, it's an east-northeast wind, and we do have that stationary front still around Cedar Key, and so that's what's also keeping these clouds, and the winds are from the east-northeast because of the stationary front. Satellite and radar does show you all the cloud cover associated with that stationary front. And there's actually a lot of low-level cloudiness that it's not being picked up by satellite and radar because it's low-level clouds. Now, as we go into tonight's forecast, it will be 58 degrees. The cloud cover, again, won't allow our temperatures to drop that much. And there won't be that much wind, northeast at 5 miles per hour. But as we go into tomorrow, that wind shift is actually going to occur. At first, it's going to be cloudy. The clouds will stick around, but as we go into, actually, this is tonight. You can see we'll go down to 64 degrees, and the clouds will remain. As we go into tomorrow, as I was saying, 75 degrees. The clouds will remain in the morning, but as we go into the afternoon, the sun will begin to peak out, and by Wednesday night into Thursday, we'll finally get that full sunshine, as you can see, by the next 7 days. Thursday, we'll get more sun. Therefore, we'll probably reach 80 degrees on Thursday and Friday. Saturday and Sunday, we do introduce a rain chance of 20%. That is due to a weak cold front, but it's not looking very strong right now, so that's why we're only keeping it at a 20% chance. But as you look at Monday and Tuesday, we'll clear out again, and Tuesday might be, again, an 80-degree day. But I'm going to send it off to Jennifer with a look at the national forecast.
Yeah, and as we take a look at the bigger picture across the nation, we're seeing temperatures ranging all across the nation. About 28 degrees in Boston, mostly cloudy skies. 29 degrees for Minneapolis. Seattle, though, staying around 47 degrees for that location, as well as 72 degrees with partly cloudy skies in Phoenix. The southeast, though, staying fairly warm. 66 degrees for Tallahassee, as well as 71 degrees for New Orleans currently across the nation. But the temperature changed this time yesterday. We're heating up across most areas of the United States. Only the East Coast has really saw dips in temperature, about 12 degrees dips in temperature for Boston, but about 13 degrees increase in temperature in Kansas City. So most areas are warming up because we do have a high pressure system across most of the nation as well. Satellite radar showing some scattered storms across most areas of the southeast. Places like Arkansas and Louisiana are seeing some thunderstorms in those areas, but the northwest and areas like Denver and Salt Lake City are seeing some snowfall for these areas as well. And with that, we'll see the watches and warnings heading off for the overnight hours as well. Some river flood warnings, mainly along the southeast, as well as some area flood watches for portions of West Virginia. Some high wind advisories for areas of Wyoming, as well as into Montana. We're seeing some winter storm watches for that area going in throughout the evening hours and into tonight. Our water vapor showing a surge in moisture across most areas of Texas, as well as Louisiana and Arkansas. That's where we're seeing the thunderstorms starting to pick up this afternoon, as well as along the East Coast. We're seeing the moisture increase because of those that cold front that's moving off the coast as well. But some drier conditions for some areas of the southeast, like Georgia and Alabama, as well as Mississippi. Currently, though, the dew points are showing a surge in dew points along the southeast, as New Orleans is staying around the 60s. So very, very humid along the southeast, but most areas like the northwest are seeing some dips in dew points. About 19 degrees for Minneapolis and Billings, so the dew points are making the humidity non-existent in those areas. Tonight's forecast across the nation, we're seeing temperatures dipping down. About 28 degrees for Boston, as well as 19 degrees for Minneapolis. As we head off throughout the northwest, we'll see temperatures around 26 degrees for Billings. They might see some snowfall heading in throughout tonight and into tomorrow morning as well. As Seattle, about 40 degrees for that location. 38 degrees for Salt Lake City. And going throughout the south of the United States, we're seeing about 53 degrees for San Antonio, about 50 degrees for Memphis, as well as 60 degrees here in Tallahassee. More local picture there, as well as the only warm spot on the map, about 72 degrees for Miami heading into throughout tonight. And for tomorrow, we'll see some rainfall, especially places like Memphis, Tennessee. They'll see the rain accumulation at those locations, but northeast, they'll see a pop of sunshine heading in throughout tomorrow with partly cloudy skies, as well as the west. Seattle's going to see some rainfall, as well as 46 degrees for Billings. But as I take things back for the south for a look live, Sydney's actually going to take a look at what happened earlier this afternoon around the integration statue.
Student meteorologist Sydney Welch here on Legacy Walk, right in front of the integration statue, which is an awesome piece, a landmark on our campus. Students are hustling and bustling by as they're trying to get to and from their midterms. Even this late, some night classes just letting out. But as for this weather, the clouds are sticking around, a full layer of clouds into our night, so that doesn't rule out an isolated shower or two, but the rain chances are extremely low, and this will be our last chance for showers as we go into the rest of the week. Temperatures getting up in the high 70s for tomorrow and into our week, almost breaking into the 80s. So as for that, I'm going to send it right back to you guys over there at FSU Weather. Student meteorologist Sydney Welch.
So that's what happened earlier today, but now we're going to look at the current conditions around the southeast right now. So currently in Tallahassee, like we said earlier, it is 66 degrees. Right above us, Montgomery, you're at 67. You can see we're all around mid-60s, and then down here we have 70s, high 70s. But if you look over here in Little Rock, you're at 41 degrees. So that is because there is rain there, which is making it cool down. But not much is happening. Just the stationary front over here is keeping its way around Florida, causing some rain. Also, you can see that rain over there that I was talking about, making those temperatures pretty cool, but there was lots of clouds today, and this is showing all that cloud coverage that you saw earlier today. I barely saw the sun. I think I saw it for like maybe 1 or 2 minutes. It was sort of depressing, but hopefully it'll come back later this week. And the 24-hour temperature change, New Orleans, you have gone up 20 degrees since yesterday as of right now. So it's just life. But Tallahassee, we are at 0 degrees temperature change. It's because that stationary front, nothing much is happening, but those temperatures are rising because there are no cool fronts coming through at the moment. But you can see that wind is coming through from the east. And in Little Rock, you can see the wind is going to the north because it is raining there, so that caused that shift of the wind. And right now you can see that all these green areas are flood watches. So it is from the rain. Flood watches are actually very serious. You need to be safe and take precautions, so make sure you do that and be aware because flood watches are serious, like I said like 5 times. And these are just small craft advisories, so if you have like a small boat or a small plane, just be careful if you're taking them out on the water or above the water because it is going to be very windy right now. But for tonight's forecast, New Orleans, you are at 63. Little Rock, your temperature is rising to 47 actually. And in Miami, you are at 72. Orlando, you're at 65. It's going to be feeling nice. So it's almost like it's springtime, honestly, because the temperatures are very warm and it's feeling like Florida. So I'm happy about that. And taking a look at tomorrow, what you can expect in Tallahassee is 78 all around. We're in the 70s. We're feeling like South Florida almost, which is crazy. I love it. If you take a look around, it is in the 60s in the north, but right now we're going to be taking it back to the desk with Michael.
Thanks, Ariana. So as you were saying, it is springtime, so spring sports are starting to kick into gear. But first, let's go into basketball. Men's basketball has a huge game against number 11 Clemson. It is at home, and it's at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Again, it's going to be mostly cloudy for the tip-off, so it's going to be pretty nice, but again, it's going to be mostly cloudy. The women's basketball team plays Clemson on Thursday, again, at 7 p.m., and it's going to be feeling pretty nice. 70 degrees will be the temperature, and the sun will come out by Thursday. Now, baseball opening day starts on Friday. They play Xavier, and the first pitch is at 4 p.m., and it's going to be a very nice game. It's going to be near 80 degrees, as we were saying in our local forecast. They play Xavier again on Saturday and Sunday. Softball plays Minnesota on Friday and Saturday, then Michigan on Saturday and Sunday. Weather's looking great for that. And finally, our men's team plays Pittsburgh on Sunday. Weather will be looking good for that also. And finally, we're going to go into the Genesis Open. The Genesis Open is at Riviera Country Club, just west of Los Angeles. A lot of big names in the field. Tiger's in the field, Phil's in the field, Rory McIlroy's in the field. It's a huge field, and weather's looking pretty good for that event. Sunny for the entire tournament, and temperatures will be in the 70s on Friday and Saturday and 60s on Thursday and Sunday. So it is looking like a really good tournament. It is sponsored by the Tiger Woods Foundation, so it will be a good tournament. But let's send it off to the wall where Alyssa has a final look at your local forecast.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, the past 2 days have been really hot and sticky. Probably have not been able to see the cloud because of all this overcast. Taking a look at our current temperatures here in Tallahassee, we're seeing 66 degrees, very overcast, like I've said, and very humid. As you were walking to class, it probably felt like you had an extra few layers on. And that's because look at our dew point right now, 63 degrees. And the way to understand how humid it is, look how close 63 degrees is to our actual temperature. That's why it feels like it's extremely humid out. Taking a look at our satellite and radar, you can really see not much in terms of clouds and rain. As you take a look over here, you can see the remnants of the cold front that pushed through that is now stationary. And because it is stationary, that's why it has been overcast for the past few days, leaving moist and humid air behind, so leaving us with clouds, unfortunately. Tonight's forecast, the clouds will stick around. It'll be 58 degrees. It will act like a thick blanket over top of us, keeping us warm at night, and winds will be coming out of the northeast 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow's outlook, we will see another hot and humid day, 75 degrees, but it will be the last day of overcast. The clouds will begin to break up going throughout this week, and it's t-shirt weather. So tomorrow you will not feel the need to bring a jacket around. You can go out, wear a t-shirt and shorts, and the winds will be 5 to 10 miles per hour from the northeast. Looking towards tomorrow, or Valentine's Day to all you lovers out there, we can see here in Tallahassee 70 degrees, Quincy 72, and a little bit by the coast, Carabel, you're seeing 68 degrees, just a little bit cooler because the coast is able to moderate their temperatures a little bit, but like I said, last day of cloudy conditions. So something definitely to look forward to. And also taking a look at this Gulf Index, it is a 4, which is very good. We're seeing mild temperatures going into tomorrow and just a little bit cloudy, but not like we've been seeing yesterday or towards today. The 7-day forecast, we can take a look towards tomorrow. We're going to see 75 degrees. For our high, 58 for our overnight low, and Thursday we are going to see 79, possibly even reaching 80 degrees, which will be the hottest for this month. And we're going to see on Thursday the low being 60 degrees. And going into Friday, you can really see the sunshine, not as much clouds, even just by that picture right there. So going into Friday, a great optimistic look for the weekend, and the overnight low will be 59 degrees. What's behind me, though, is a possibility for rain, 20% chance of rain as a weak cold front continues to push through, but it will be isolated showers. It will not be a complete washout going into this weekend if you do have plans, but I'm actually going to send it out to the desk. What do you guys think about the end of this week?
That's looking pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Other than those rain chances, but 20% rain chances, nothing compared to what we're used to. We're seasoned rain chances.
Yeah, I like the almost 80 degrees.
Honestly, I do as well.
I like to go outside
and
and enjoy the sunshine every once in a while. I don't like cloudy weather.
Yeah, going outside earlier today, it was really cloudy, and it will be like that tomorrow and Thursday as well, but maybe not quite overcast, but a lot of clouds in the sky.
Yeah, so we'll see mainly partly cloudy skies type of thing, right?
Exactly, yeah. And into Friday, those clouds are going to break up even more, and then we will see more sun. So
That'll be a great day to go tanning.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah. If you're trying to get out by a pool, Friday and Monday and Tuesday are your days to do so.
Yeah, we'll see the rain chances Saturday and Sunday, but they're only 20% chance.
Yeah, so just don't forget your umbrella if you're going outside. That's what 20% chance of rain means to me, but if you get caught out in a shower, pull out that umbrella. Otherwise, enjoy those temperatures.
Yeah, the temperatures are going to look pretty nice, but as we take a look at our final look outside the weather cam out on the roof of the Love Building, mainly cloudy skies heading into this afternoon, heading into the evening.
And I can't help but notice, look at how much work they've done on the new meteorology building.
Pretty soon it's going to be covering up the entire camera, so we won't be able to see anything outside.
I know, so that is going to be the building that the entire EOAS department moves into. So
that's
we're
be
super
awesome.
excited for
Moving
that.
out of the 4th floor and into the new building.
Yeah, exactly. But you should follow us on Twitter. We are active on social media. We're also active on Facebook. And if you aren't watching us on YouTube right now, it is really easy to get us up there.
You can watch us, wink, wink, live on YouTube. Just also follow us on Instagram. You can tag us in all your weather photos. But with that, I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
I'm student meteorologist Sydney Welch, and we hope you have a great night. Also, tag us on Instagram in any pictures you have of a dog, a cat, anything. We do really enjoy that.
Good evening.